Yo, we are back in After Effects, and in today's video I'll be showing you how to create this super easy paint transition right here. You can call it a paint stroke transition, you can call it like a flicker transition, but it looks super insane. But as you might already notice, May is here, and this month I decided to do daily uploads again. So I'll be uploading daily whole entire month. I'll be at least trying to, and I'll provide a lot of sauce for y'all, so make sure y'all subscribed and also ring the bell notification so every time I upload you get notified. But yeah, without wasting any more time, let's just get into After Effects. So in my After Effects, you can see I have these two clips right here. It is shot by my brother Edie, so big shout out to him. But to start off, we're just gonna add an adjustment layer right here, and to do this effect we'll be using an effect called Sapphire Grunge right here. If you don't already know, Sapphire is a plugin. Get it how you can, like you can legally get it, and there's some like other ways to get it as well, if you know what I mean. But however you get Sapphire, just add the Sapphire Grunge firstly, and it will add these like crazy grungy effect already. But firstly, I like to go with the stamp detail 1, and in stamp I just like to set it to from paint spray. I like to set it to paint splatter right here, and what it will do is add these like paint splatter, you can say splatters. I don't know how you say that, bro. Splatters, yeah, I guess splatters or something shit like that. But what it will do is just replace that with these like paint strokes that you can say looks like the paint effect, of course. Oh, actually, nah, I'm mistaken, my bad. Firstly, just set the stamp was to paint splatter, I guess, and in the stamp 2, make sure you put that on clouds. My bad, like I mistaken that. But anyways, however you do this, make sure the first one is plain splatter and the second one is clouds. And after this, in color stamp 1, I'm gonna set the color to something like a little bit of like purple right here. Then with the color 1, which is white, so it is like a white and purple tone going on. The second one, the color 2 will be white, and for the color 1 we're gonna set it to something like maybe something like this or something like this, maybe a little darker. And in the color 1, let's just set it to a little bit lighter of purple right here. Now you can see we already get this like paint type of effect going on, but now we'll start animating it and creating that animation right here. So firstly, we're gonna go with this stamp size and bring that up, so around like 1.900 looks cool for me. And now we're gonna hit the stopwatch in stamp density, and you can bring it up where it's like cuts, like your footage cuts, and go few frames forward, bring it down to 0. It starts from 0, maybe around like here, and go over to the cut again and go over to where you want the animation to end, send it back to 0 now. So we have this basic like paint effect right here going on. Like already got a transition, you can say, but we'll be of course spicing this up. You can of course easy these keyframes right here, go into the graph and go into value graph, just make a graph like this, so it like peaks where it like cuts, so something like this. So the peak happens at the cut, right at the cut. Then now after that, go over to the beginning keyframe, and now we actually gonna scroll down until you see it right here and hit the stopwatch in there. Go over to the ending keyframe and bring this up around, it should be 23, make it around like 50. Don't go too crazy because it will be too fast. Just set it around like from 23, just set it to 50 or something. So you can see it like flickers through like different paint texture. This is still fast. You can go a little slower if you want. You can go over to something like a 40 as well if you like, but I guess this is perfect right here. Yeah, that looks super insane already. After the seed animated, it looks completely real and it looks realistic, I mean. But now you can play around with all of these settings for sure. But one thing I like to do in here where it says combine, in comp you can just set it to something like you can play around with all of these blending modes actually, but for me I think hard light goes the best because it like makes it look like it is like on like the actual footage instead of overly on top, if that makes sense. Then you can bring up the intensity of the second clouds. But yeah, I guess that looks super cool right there. So we already have a basic transition going on right here, but to spice it up, I like to add something like a sapphire hotspot in here and set the threshold at 0 at the first, put this keyframe at the first and go over to the cut and just lower it down a little bit so it turns turns into kind of like a dark tone, and as it goes, just lower it down to 0 again, so it looks something similar to this. Then after that, you can also animate the saturation. So the saturation peaks at the peak, so at the 2 right here, at the first frame set it to 0, I guess, and at the end frame set it to 0 as well. Nah, actually 0 makes it black and white, my bad. Set it to 1 at the both side, so it happens something like this. Now you can go ahead onto the grunge again and bring out the brightness, maybe. Yeah, brightness and the opacity of the overlay, so it is a little more like stamped into there. But what you can do is like in stamp brightness, keyframe that as well, and go over to the first frame and lower it down, so it as it goes in the transition point, it like peaks and goes back to like normal. And yeah, I guess that looks insane right there. That actually looks insane, bro. That looks super real, bro. Now you can leave it right here, but I like to spice it up further on using my essential effects. So if you don't know, essential effects is a pack which comes with 40 plus presets in there that you can use for your music video and any kind of like VFX work you are doing. So I'm gonna use the effect from there to spice this up. So I'm gonna create another adjustment layer right here and go over to my effects and presets, go over to user presets and open up essential effects right here. And in essential effect, the preset I'll be using is AI colorful. If we set the blending mode to like overlay, it looks real cool, which if I add right here, it add like these type of glowing lines right here. They used to use this effect back then in like AI videos, so it is named after that, but you can use this on scenarios like this as well. Super cool preset already. But now if we go into blending mode and set it to overlay or something like that, you can see it like overlays over our clip and looks insane right here, bro. That spiced it up a lot. You can play with the blending mode more, but I noticed like overlay goes the best with it. And of course, hit the stopwatch in the opacity, peak it, make sure it's on 100 where it's like transition, go back and set it to something like 0, maybe somewhere around like here, and as it goes, go where it ends and set it back to 0. And after that easily we can see we spiced the effect up whole bunch with that. If I show you the before and after, this is pretty simple, but with that it looks insanely cool, bro. It looks insanely cool. So if you want to download essential effects, I'll link it in the description. As I showed, it is actually goated. It comes with 40 plus preset like these effects and transition for your music videos, and it is like totally goated, trust me. So I'll link it in the description if you want to check it out. But now to finish it off, you can just pre-comp it all and add like a RSMB on top and set the value to around like 0.20 or something like that. So it has a little bit of motion blur in there, look a little bit realistic and smoother, but you can always remove the RSMB if you don't like, but I guess that looks a little smoother right there with it. But yeah, with that I guess we are done, and our final effect looks something like this. So that's it for today's video, guys. If you like this video, please consider hitting the like button and also subscribe to our channel for more videos like this, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. Peace.